Hey, Dave Scadden here with 4 Pillars Men's Health. Just signed up for Ironman Tulsa. That's right. Get out there, swim 2 miles, ride your bike over 100 miles, and then run a marathon. And that's going to happen in May, the end of May, and I got a lot of work ahead of me to get ready to go. This is my 60th year of life, and I'm going to do this thing for my 60th year party. And I thought I'd just put this out there and have you guys come along with me and go through the ups and downs, everything that's going to happen while I'm going through this 26 weeks of training. And invite you just to keep checking my podcasts out. We'll probably do like one a week or something like that. And love to have you come along with me. But, some people think, that's just too much, Dave. Going out and doing all that in one day. And, there is some truth to that. But I think for me, at this point in my life and my condition of my body, I'm up for that. And the reason why I'm doing it is because it's a really good full body workout every week. You're swimming, you're biking, and you're running, and all those 3 things in combination get your full body. It's like a full body workout. Plus, I'll be doing some weightlifting and things like that to strengthen up my body as well. And we'll be getting into that as we go along in this training program. But it's not for everybody. The truth is, it's not for everybody, and I don't anticipate that I'll be able to do this forever. But there are shorter Ironmans, so maybe I'll do an Ironman, a shorter one in the future or whatever. A little bit of history with me and Ironman. I've been doing Ironman for about 10 or 15 years. I think I don't remember what my first one was, but so my body is kind of like acclimated to it, so I'm feeling pretty comfortable about being able to do this full one. I have attempted 2 full Ironmans in the past, failed all 2 times, and wasn't able to complete them. But I have finished half Ironmans, quite a few of those, and other types of triathlons. So I do have some experience with this. I've really worked hard at training and getting my body to that place where I can do this thing. So that's a little bit of history about myself and Ironman, and I look forward to this journey. There is no doubt about it. Doing an Ironman is no small feat, especially a full Ironman, 140 miles and 0.6. Don't forget that 0.6. And, but whenever you're doing any kind of a big endeavor, it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of determination, and it's important, I think, at the outset to determine for yourself why in the world would you do such a thing. If you're going to climb a mountain, or if you're going to start a business, if you're going to do anything significant in your life, you need to really spend some time thinking about why is it that you're doing this. And it's really important to do that. So I challenge you, if you're thinking about getting into triathlons, and especially Ironman triathlons, spend some time thinking about why you're doing that, and what's your dream. What do you want to have happen? If you're just trying to get physically fit, I'm not sure if at least Ironman are the best things for you. Maybe a triathlon, a smaller triathlon, a sprint triathlon, where you're training smaller bits and portions every day and every week or periodically. But Ironman is a serious thing, and so you really need to take some time to evaluate that. Why are you doing what you're doing? And then another thing is, you really need to put some thought into training your head for this endeavor. So it takes a huge amount. You're going to have to get up early in the morning. You're going to have to spend time on your weekends. You're going to have to. It's almost like it becomes a part-time job, and that's why it's so important to figure out your dreams and your goals, and make sure that this is a thing that you want to do and why it's important to you. And there's a plethora of reasons why people do these, and you need to figure out what is your reason. And it's so important to think about this because it's going to require a lot out of you. You're going to have to be mentally tough. You're going to have to be determined. You're going to have to be consistent, and you're going to have to be patient with yourself. And so those are things that you need to consider. Another thing that you need to think about is your team. It looks like an individual sport out there, but the truth is everybody out doing Ironman has a team around them. It could be a spouse, it might be some kind of a doctor, an endurance coach, a chiropractor, all kinds of things that we'll be getting into later on in this series of a team that you need to have around you that can support you and help you take you through this process in a healthy way. And so that's an important consideration as well. Let's take a look at fitness training. What does that mean? How do you go from where you're at to where you want to be, where you can run and bike and swim? And those are important considerations. And the first thing you want to think about is, what is your potential? And everyone out there has potential to improve. And say like let's say my age. I'm 60 years old. I've done some Ironman in the past. And so I kind of know the system. I kind of have some fitness behind me. And so my ability to improve might not be nearly as much as your ability to improve over the next few weeks. Earlier I mentioned that I have 26 weeks that I'm going to be working on training for this event. You might not have that much time, maybe you have more, but it's not something you can just jump into. And say for example, if you're younger, say you're 20 years old, you just come out of college football training and you're in good physical fitness, you might only need a few weeks trained for an Ironman. You're going to hate it because it's going to kill you because you haven't trained specifically for Ironman, but it's possible for you to do that. If you're in your 30s or 40s and you've had an office job and you haven't done any fitness work in the near past, then it's going to take you longer to get to the point where you can do these kinds of things. So finding your potential, being realistic, setting some realistic goals for getting in shape are so important. And as we go through this next 26 weeks together, I'm going to be doing deep dives into all these topics about all these things, where you're at, how you can improve, and these kinds of things. Another thing that's really important as you're getting through and getting established in Ironman is to really focus on your training program and have a purpose for every workout. Don't just go out there and say, okay, my goal today is I'm gonna run 5 miles. You can't, that's not good enough. Every training event that you do in preparation for this Ironman has to have a specific reason. And we're going to get into this in depth, and it's a very complex topic. And because we're dealing with 3 sports. We're dealing with cycling, running, and swimming. And we're dealing with different ages of bodies, and we're dealing with different ages of fitness. But every one of your workouts needs to have a specific goal, and that's what you're aiming for in that workout. And we're going to be getting more into that. Another thing that as far as fitness training goes, I think for me personally, I think that it's important to have some kind of technology to help you through this. And for me, I have a fitness watch. It's a Garmin. It downloads to my computer or my phone, and it gives me all kinds of metrics that help me establish, set goals, and make stair steps goals into the direction that I want to go. And I would be lost without technology, and I'm going to encourage you to find some kind of technology that will help you as well. There is no Ironman that does this by himself. And one of the things that I like to encourage you to look into and to check into is getting a coach or getting plugged into some kind of a system for training for these Ironman. These are not easy things, and it's so easy to like overdo it and get injured, underdo it and not be prepared, and everything in between. And so it's important for you to either spend some time yourself studying this stuff out or find a coach who knows what they're doing. And it can't just be any coach. It's got to be somebody that understands the three sport spectrum of Ironman, somebody that understands how to tie that together, and somebody who understands endurance training. So you need to find a specific, you're going to get a coach, you got to find somebody that knows what they're doing. What I did was I found a really good guy. One of the things I did, I found a really good guy. His name is Joel Ferrero, and he has 4 books I'd like to recommend to you. And I don't want you to just look at these and read them. I want you to take these and study them. You got to spend time in this. This book is, just his handbook is, I don't know, like 300 pages long, but it's called the Triathlete's Training Bible, and he gets into the whole range of training and building yourself up to do an Ironman. And there's great information in here about how your body works and how what you need to do for your body for endurance and for the cycling, biking, and swimming aspects of this sport. Another book that I'd like you to take a look at is Joe's training diary. And it's a companion book for his Bible, but so this one is more the practical thing where you, on a daily basis, you go into this thing and you set goals and you monitor your training. And it's really good. And we're going to get into this in depth later on in this session, in these series of podcasts and YouTube videos. But you can take a look at this, and this is so practical and so good for your training. Another one, if you're getting up in years like I am, he does have this great book. It's called Fast After 50, and it's more targeted towards guys that are older. It goes into a lot of the stuff that his Triathlete Bible book goes into, but it's more oriented towards what happens when you get older and what you need to do to compensate for your age. And then the other one that he has that's really good is his Cyclist Training Bible. And I would recommend that you get all of these books and take a look at them and not just read through them, but study them and apply them to your life. And I hope you just like stick with me through this whole thing. And why don't you find an Ironman, or if you're just getting started, find a short sprint triathlon somewhere that you can travel to, get excited about it, go through this process with me, and get into doing an Ironman on your own. It'd be fun to do that. And as usual, I really appreciate your support for my channel. Like and subscribe. It's always fun to get a buddy to do this. So you find a triathlon that you can participate in, and then recruit some people to come along with you and share these videos, and let's do this together. Let's get healthy together and do this well. And so like, subscribe, share this thing out, join the health revolution, and you'll be glad you did.